So, hello everyone. Welcome to our meditation time together. And one of the supports for meditation is our meditation posture. And there's many dimensions, many elements to the value of the meditation posture. But one of them, the simple one that I'd like to offer today, is familiarity. That to more or less take the same posture meditation after meditation, when you sit down to meditate and take that posture, the associations with meditation, the channels of meditation, the habits, the orientation towards meditation can kind of begin to click in, like your body knows what to do. And so it doesn't have to be so much of a mental effort to meditate, because the body participates. It kind of takes the posture, and our awareness kind of enters our body, and there's places of maybe some comfort from the familiarity. Oh, this is my meditation place. This is how I am. And then that familiarity, that physical sense of familiarity, can make it easier to be oriented towards the present moment, here and now, in this body. And then we need help sometimes because of how strong the currents of thinking is that maybe takes us away from the present moment. So to assume your meditation posture, and sometimes if you do it slowly and kind of carefully, that supports this movement towards familiarity and entering into the present moment through your posture. Sometimes I've seen that the longer someone meditates, the more time they take to get into their posture. Kind of moving back and forth, kind of adjusting their knees, maybe twisting a little bit, maybe moving their heads, just all kinds of kind of getting everything kind of lined up and coordinated, cooperating with being present here and now. And lowering your gaze. Perhaps, if it's comfortable, closing your eyes. And then taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. And those deep breaths can also be part of this entering the posture, or returning to your posture, to your body that's here and now. The deep breath, and on the exhale, a long exhale in which you relax the shoulders, the belly, a kind of letting go that somehow in the center of your being, and letting go into the pull of gravity. Letting your breathing return to normal. And on the exhale, relaxing the muscles of the face. Around the eyes, the jaws, cheeks. If it helps the mouth be a little bit more relaxed, let the teeth fall away from each other slightly so the lips are very lightly touching. Perhaps relaxing your scalp, or even just imagining the scalp as a relaxing. Relaxing the shoulders on the exhale. Taking time to feel the release or softening of the shoulders, and perhaps how it settles you more into your torso. Softening the belly. Soft belly as you breathe. And then turning your attention to the breathing itself now. Centering yourself in the body breathing. Maybe imagining that the sensations of breathing are like a river, ever-flowing river, or ever-repeating waves washing up on the shore. And for you to settle back and watch how all the aspects of breathing, the details of breathing come and go. The inhale comes, begins, and ends. It disappears. The exhale begins and ends. If there is a pause between the exhale and inhale, that pause kind of begins and ends. And within the inhale, there are particular sensations that are the manifestation of inhaling. And rather than hanging on to each sensation, see them as a river flowing through. Or as a constantly changing wave washing up on a sandy shore. With all the foam and the little waves and all the detailed sensations of inhale. They come and they go, they appear and they disappear. Don't hold on to anything. see if you can settle back and just allow those sensations to wash through you, wash through awareness. And the exhale as well. All the sensations of exhale, settle back, relax. Let them flow through you as they appear and they disappear. And for this meditation, you're more centering yourself on the flow of coming and going, appearing and disappearing. Your mind wanders off in thought. Let go of your thinking and let go into the flow of breathing. The sensations of your body as you breathe. Almost like you're receiving it like the sand receives the waves. Or you're floating on it like you're floating on the river flowing. And then gently expanding your awareness that as you experience breathing in the flow of sensations, you begin to be aware of the flowing sensations of the body, being aware of the coming and going, the vibration, tingling, glowing, way in which sensations come and go in the body as well. And so the flow of sensations and breathing is centered in a larger field of flow and comings and goings. The best you can, centering yourself in the flow and the vibrant, moving, changing sensations of breathing and body. In any place maybe where there's a hardness or things are coagulated or bunched up, as you exhale, see if that can be relaxed or softened. Opened or expanded, so that everything is somehow participating or joining the dynamic way in which sensations come and go and appear and disappear. The vibrancy, tingling, flowing, glowing. If you are thinking a lot, relax the contracted mind. Relax the thinking muscle. So the mind too can somehow float on the flow of change throughout the body. Maybe even becoming a flow of change. And if what is hard and closed is in the heart, perhaps for a little bit you can open your heart, relax, so the heart also floats, it floats supported by the flow of sensations. It's okay to open the heart, to allow it to float, to be held by all the flow in the body. To have the awareness centered on all that's changing in the body, all the sensations coming and going, is said to be healing, because it begins to dissolve the places of contraction and holding, resistance. The more things flow, the more health moves through us. And it is liberating. The more we can relax into the changing nature of life, the less we're holding on, clinging, resisting. And over time, we can become the change, become the dynamic process of flow, of our inner experience. And as we come to the end of this sitting, with time, we'll discover that opening to the changing dynamic nature of the body is moving towards wellness, moving towards healthiness, to wholesomeness, to freedom. And may it be that what we learn about wellness and freedom, that we carry that with us into the world. And perhaps sharing, just by the nature of who we are and how we are, sharing that wellness, that freedom with others. May the ways that we develop and grow in this practice, may it be for the welfare and happiness of others. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May all beings discover the wholesome body, the wholesomeness embodied within. May all beings discover freedom as it flows through our veins, flows through our muscles and bones. May we live harmoniously in this changing world, knowing how to float and open to the rhythms of change, the comings and goings of things. May all beings be happy. Thank you. So we're talking about the refrain of the Satipatthana Sutta. And the first line, which we covered somewhat, maybe never complete, is the line that goes, in this way, one abides observing the body internally, the body in terms of the body internally. One observes the body in regards to the body externally. So that's the first line. The second line is, one abides observing the arising Dhamma. One observes observing the ceasing of Dhamma. One observes the arising and ceasing of Dhamma. And the word Dhamma here, Dharma, usually in English, is not 100% sure exactly what this means. Bhikkhu Bodhi translates it as nature, that is quality and nature of something. So observing the nature of arising in the body, observing the nature of ceasing in the body, observing the nature of arising and ceasing in the body. That's because the emphasis here is not that what the sensation is in and of itself, but rather the process by which all sensations in the body have a way in which they appear and disappear. And it's that tuning into the flow, the changing nature, the appearing and disappearing, arising and passing, is what this practice opens up to when we're able to be centered and stable in the present moment. When we're able to kind of settle back, to abide and observe without the mind jumping into thoughts, jumping into concepts and ideas and reactions. It's just there, very quietly, to observe what's happening. Um, so, so another meaning for this word Dhamma is just experience. It's the particular experiences that come and go. So whatever experience that arises in the body, we see it as arising. Whatever experiences pass, we see it as passing. Whatever experiences both arise and pass in the body, we observe that. What the third one means, arising and passing, is that some things last very short time. They just, almost as soon as they arise, they're already passing away. Like, a sound of a bell. It's there suddenly, it appears, but then you're aware of it fading away. And sometimes that happens quite quickly. Some sounds, like if I snap my fingers, it both kind of arises, appears, and disappears almost at the same time. And so as the mind gets more and more still and quiet, this magic begins appearing. And that is that all the things that we thought were solid, turns out their solidity is partly a function of perceiving it conceptually, perceiving it through an idea, maybe subconsciously that way. Or it seems solid because we're kind of holding on to it, or we're contracted around it. But as we get deeper and deeper, more relaxed and settled, and be able to tune in to the momentary processes, we see that even something which remains, in the remaining, it's coming and going, arising and passing. It's so, like for example, there might be, you might have a constant rustling of the leaves in the tree in the wind, and just kind of you say it's just rustling all the time. It's just constant. But in fact, the rustling, if you really tune into it, is a lot of small little rustle sensations of leaves that are coming and going and coming and going. But the aggregate we take to be, more of a continuous kind of solid thing. So the same thing with the body. The aggregate of pain in my knee can seem like solid pain. But if we can settle enough and quiet enough and just open to and receive the sensations of the pain, often what happens is that we drop below the aggregate level and to the more particular sensations that make up the total. And we see that those are sparking and passing away. There's a dance of sensations all the time, even in something that's felt like it was solid. And this dance of sensations and comings and goings begins as we keep practicing, becomes more and more the orientation of what we are aware of. This can happen naturally by itself. It's not like we have to go looking for it. In fact, to look for it, this kind of way of being too soon leads to kind of certain kind of imbalance and even meditation, imbalance meditation or challenge meditation. It's better just let it appear as we get more and more settled into the practice, more and more here and relaxing to the place where we can just abide and observe in a very relaxed way. But what can help and support this is to know that this is valuable. Sometimes when people learn mindfulness practice, they're supposed to always know something. Really go in there and know that's pain, that's tightening, that's clenching, that's warmth, that's coolness, and so it's kind of like focusing on the kind of, I don't know if the concept is the right word here to say, but on the thing. But at some point, what we're interested in is not the thing, but to have a deeper intimacy that allows us to see, to perceive, to sense, to feel that whatever thing that's there, whatever Dhamma is arising and passing, how it's sparking, and so the word anicca, A-N-I-C-C-A, often translated as impermanence, literally means inconstancy, because some things are, when we use the word impermanent in English, some people think it means it's not going to last. Sooner or later it'll not be there anymore. But the inconstancy here implies that something can be there, like the leaves rustling in the wind is constant, but the individual pieces of sound are inconstant. They come and go. And our breathing is, as long as we're alive, our breathing is constant. It doesn't, it's not impermanent, in a final way until we die. But it's impermanent or inconstant in that it's not in-breath is not constantly there. The in-breath is inconstant because it yields to the exhale. The exhale is not constant because it yields to the inhale. And so, but they're inconstantly, continuously there. They're continuously reappearing. And so a lot of what we see in the body is better described not as impermanent, but as inconstancy. We see the inconstancy, the flow, the change, moving. And so this, if at that time when we're able to just rest in that experience, abide and observe, abide and just sense, where the observing is akin to receptive awareness. So if the idea of seeing, the observing is not quite the right metaphor for you, there might be some other, like feeling. It's the receptive feeling, receptive perceiving. It's closer to what it is than actively looking. As we deepen into this kind of world of inconstancy, it's not even receptive anymore, because that implies a little bit of a separation from the experience, or a duality, or being a little bit active, like I'm the one receiving. It's just things appearing and disappearing without us receiving it or actively going to it. It's just flowing in this field of awareness. And so there's a whole bunch of degrees by which this happens. Sometimes we just feel hints of it, or small degrees. Sometimes it's very all-pervasive. And but whatever degree it is, it does represent a movement towards a kind of healthiness in the body, because the contracted and tight and solid feeling of the body, is normal as it is not like necessarily a problem in ordinary life, maybe even needed in ordinary life. But it also can be the place where we get physiologically congested, or things get tense or tight or restricted, and the blood circulation, nerve circulation, I don't know exactly all the energies that exist in the body, don't flow as smoothly. And as we kind of open up to this kind of flowing nature, vibrant nature, it can feel like the health is flowing through our body. Even if someone is sick, maybe with incurable disease, to have access to this level of meditation, it just feels like that this feels healthy. And whether it actually heals disease, that's a whole other issue, but it certainly feels good to have this deep relaxation and opening, and probably is good for the immune system and things. But more important in Buddhism, it's a stepping stone, or it's an opening. It's a way of being that begins showing us the potential for freedom in a deep way, and that'll be the topic for tomorrow. So abiding, observing the body in its nature, in its arising nature, in the arising experiences. Abiding, observing the body in its ceasing experiences. Abiding, observing the body in the rising and ceasing of all its experiences. So thank you, and I look forward to being here with you tomorrow.